If you're looking for a song to impress girls, you have come to the wrong place, my friends, because we are learning how to play the Super Mario Brothers theme. We're going to break it into an intro in 4 parts, and it's going to sound a little bit like this. So, fantastic theme song, obviously. I'm going to link you to a tab, but I really want you to try to not use the tab and just try to get these parts down and then kind of figure out ways to memorize each part, which we're going to talk a little bit about, okay? So it starts out with an iconic intro, which is just here. So all it is you start on the high E string 3 times, 1 B, back to the open E string, the G on the E string, 3rd fret, and then the lower G, right? So these notes would be E, 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 C, E, G, G. Now, if you know about chord building, all that is a C major chord. C's, E's, and G's, no matter how you play them, that's just kind of like a melody built around a C major chord, right? In fact, you can kind of keep it in a chord position. So one thing we're going to talk about is kind of how to help you memorize these by just thinking of chords when you play, right? So if you just stick in the C shape, you can play it just like that, right? By just adding the G to the C, like that, right? So honestly, you can probably just stop there because you really just want to prove that you can play the Mario theme. And usually if you get that part, they're really not going to press you on it most of the time. But I think it's a valuable thing to trudge along and learn the rest of it, right? So that's just the intro. And also too, if you want to, you can kind of end with a G chord because even though we say this is built around a C chord, we end on a G note. We could replace that open G with the G chord, like. Right? So it's kind of a way to kind of dress up a single note melody line by adding chords to it, which you can kind of do in any kind of song, right? So we're going to think of that as the intro and the next part as part 1. And part 1 sounds like this. So again, we're still thinking of a C major chord. So if we start in just a C major chord and we hit the B, G, D, we're gonna get the first part of that riff, which is really 1 B, open G, 2 G. Now when I play it, I don't play it like this. I'm not really sure how many times I played the song in general in my day-to-day life, probably more than I should. But anyways, I would still play it like this. Just because when you're outside of a chord shape, you have more tonal options and how you can kind of approach those notes. But in my head, I'm thinking of the C chord going backwards through and then into the next part, right? So 1 B, open G, 2 G, down a string, 2 G, yeah, 2 D, 2 D. So 1 B, open G, 2 D, 2 G, B, 3, 2 on the D string. And this next part of this section goes. So all it is a G, open E, 3, 5, then 1, 3, open, up a string, 1, 3, open. So a lot of memorizing like longer lyrical type melody songs comes down to how you choose to memorize pieces of it instead of always having to be on a tab. So that's why I kind of like thinking of it. You can kind of see a pattern here. You start with the G, E, 3, 5, 1, 3, open, 1, 3, open. So you just take one part, like a phrase, 1, 3, open, and move it up a string. So we're always kind of just moving pieces around, okay? So again, that section sounds like this. G, open, 3, 5, 1, 3, open, 1, 3, open. That happens again. And that's going to bring us to the second section, right? So we got this kind of chromatic walk starting on the G on the high string. 3, 2, 1, 4B. And notice I'm kind of almost in like a scale position, right? 3, 2, 1, 4B, E, G string, 1, 2, 1B, 2G, 1B, 3B. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, 4B, E, 1, 2, 1B, G, 2, 1, 3. And we do the same thing again, but we change the next part. So 3, 2, 1, B, E. And then you gotta slide into that C. This is in the key of C, so this C note is very important, along with this C note, etc., right? So we're gonna slide into the 8th fret of the high string. And then the same thing again. And then we're here on the 3rd fret of the B string, which is a D. So we're just gonna slide to 4, 3, 1. Okay, so that's that whole part. All right, now the next part is where we're gonna actually go off the tab that I linked because I wanna kind of showcase how you can use the pentatonic scale, the A minor pentatonic scale, which goes well in the key of C because it's the relative minor, in a way that you can train your ears to play the next part, right? So now, you can play this exact same thing up here. But we're gonna do it here in the A minor pentatonic position, just as an example of how you can kind of use a scale shape and play around inside of it, right? So this is a great way to use your ear because the notes are so close together, you're either going up or down, so it's a good way to start playing by ear from a scale shape. So we're gonna start in A minor pentatonic. We never have to leave this for this part. And we're gonna start on the 5th fret of the G string. 1, 2, 3, 4, then the 5th note you go to 7, and then up to 5, B, straight up, so. And then we go to the D string, 7, 5. So really challenge yourself to kind of hear the notes in the pentatonic scale to get these. And then the second time, I'm just ascending the scale, then backwards, and then the intro again. Or the G chord, right? And then the last part, the part that sounds most like a plumber to me, for whatever reason, sounds like this. So again, we're thinking of a C major chord, but we're just taking the bottom 3 strings, right? So E, 1B, which is a C note, G, backwards, C. And then we go on the G string, 1, 2. So it's 1, 2, G, all the way to 1 on the high string. So it's a good way to string skip if you're looking at picking, or even with your fingers, either way. Then we go B, open B, high string, 5, 5, 5, 3, 1, E, 1B, 2G, G. Okay, and the next time it starts the same way. So the next part is after the backwards C, we're gonna go B, 1, 1, 1, open, 3B, 1B, which is a C, and then end on a C chord, okay? So, one more time, all together, we're gonna start with the intro, super slow, and then the backwards C. One, 3, 1, 1, 3, open, backwards C. Into the next part, the chromatic backwards. Slide to C. Four, 3, 1, pentatonic scale. Again. Intro. Backwards C. B 5 5 5 3 1 E 1 2 open. Backwards C. B 1 1 1 open 3 1 C. So there you have it, one of the great theme songs of all time and a great way to kind of train your ear through chords and scales to put a melody together. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or comments, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, the website, the comment section, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.